Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Bride Hard, a movie that's about Rebel Wilson as a bridesmaid. And yes, it's Die Hard with a bridesmaid. They made this movie. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The link's in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 17, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. All right, I'll just come out and say it. Rebel Wilson looks terrible in this movie. She doesn't look funny. She doesn't look competent. She doesn't look like she can act. What the hell was she thinking? I mean, honestly, what the hell? Now, this isn't a particularly bad premise. The premise is Rebel Wilson is a super spy, and she's the bridesmaid at her best friend's wedding. And I guess some of the other actresses are from Pitch Perfect. However, during the bachelorette party, Rebel runs away to take care of some spy business, and her bride gets mad and demotes her. And she is like second bridesmaid banana. I don't know what they call that. And then goes to the wedding as the lesser bridesmaid. But then the wedding is attacked by terrorists, and she has to save everybody. But I'm saying right now that I think every single fight scene clip in this, where Rebel Wilson is trying to kick people in a dress, looks awful. It doesn't mean like it couldn't look good and funny. It looks like she can't even kick her leg that high. It looks like she's straining to do everything in this. She doesn't look cool in that pose. She looks weird, and she doesn't look like herself. Not back in her funny days on Workaholics, where she was very heavy. But she looked good. She looked natural. She looks very unnatural in this. Her face doesn't seem to match the rest of her body. She's driving things and shooting things and kicking people. I don't believe a single moment of it. Not a single genuine kick. When Michelle Pfeiffer played Catwoman, I knew she wasn't really Catwoman. I knew she wasn't a cat burglar, but she kicked a few bad guys, and I was like, okay, that wasn't a bad kick here and there. I've seen women in a couple of movies, and they don't have to be necessarily super athletic, but athletic enough that I believe when they kick somebody or do something, it's funny. Now here she's playing nunchucks with some hair curlers, but it doesn't really work. Like, if she was the fat friend who came to the wedding and wasn't the super spy, then this scene would be kind of funny, because it would be someone who has no idea what they're doing and they're making some last-ditch effort, and then it works. But if she's the main protagonist who has actual skill, her response to the terrorists should be a skillful one. Now, maybe she plays it being dumb, gets them in close enough, and then burns them with the hair curling iron. But it's not coming off that way. She's not coming off as smart. Steven Dorff is the head terrorist, by the way, who's good casting. He's a good villain. But I think Rebel is completely wrong for this role. She is meant to be the fat friend because she's funny, and she's still fat, in my view. And I'm not saying that to knock her. I like Rebel Wilson, or I liked her when she was on Workaholics, and she was super fat then. Like, way fat, but funny as F. Now, as the lead, it's hard to be a lead that And she's got a whole relationship going in this with some dude during the wedding. She's sitting down at a table making Google eyes with him. All right? It's not working. Not working at all for me. And I'm not trying to insult her, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like, if that dude was like, oh, you're Rebel Wilson? Yeah, I'll get with Rebel Wilson. If she's supposed to be some super spy who has a cover as some normal chick, there's no way. Ain't no way. Sorry, ladies. Now, if that was the focus of the film, like it was a romantic movie, that would be a different story. Then it would be this intimate thing. You'd have some more reasoning behind it. This is just a side thing on this movie. And it just adds to the things that Rebel Wilson can't do. Okay? She's not going to pull this off either, in my view. I don't think anybody's going to believe that pair right there. No way. No way. You can't be the fat friend and the protagonist. Doesn't work. Now, even like, if you look at, you know, the original Police Squad or The Naked Gun, they're remaking that with Liam Neeson. The reason it works, and it looking like it's going to work with Liam Neeson, the reason it worked with Leslie, what's her name, was because they played it both dead serious and it's totally insane. Now, she could maybe pull that off. It would at least be funnier if this movie was like completely off the rails. But you'd have to build that up somehow. Build up the seriousness so she could be dead serious throughout the movie. But she's not that kind of actress, in my view. She's usually the comic relief. So you're trying to make her out to be the sexy one who gets the guy and the protagonist and the funny one? No. Not going to work. Not going to work. The bride, she could be the lead, right? She could be the serious one who's at the wedding and is secretly a spy, falls in love with a dude, and is kicking ass. I could see that because she's super toned and athletic. And she's the best looking one of these four, in my view. And Rebel could be her plucky sidekick. She could be the one getting married. That would work. She's like, oh my God, you're ruining my wedding. Like, she could play that role to the hilt. Oh yeah. I could see Rebel Wilson in that as the bridezilla. Making things 1,000 times worse, getting way drunk at the bachelorette party, and then demoting her bridesmaid to one of the other girls. Yeah, I could see that. I can't see her taking the lead to take out a bunch of terrorists. And you might say, well, it's a comedy. Yeah, it's a total comedy. But it's got to be grounded in some kind of reality. Here she is clocking a dude with a plate. You know, she just doesn't look like herself. She's all in this dress. She can't move. There's Stephen Dorff, who somehow found Fort Knox at this wedding. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Justin Hartley, who's a... I mean, look at this. Look at this stance. Does that look like does that look like she knows how to shoot a gun? Not to me, it doesn't. Looks like she's like, get this gun away from me. I have to point this gun as far away from me as possible so I don't hear that noise. So, yeah, I don't buy this for a hot second. So the ending of this is she saves the day. All right. So here's the write-up. When a mercenary group takes a lavish wedding hostage, they have no idea what they are in for, as the maid of honor is actually a secret agent, ready to rain hellfire upon anyone who would ruin her best friend's wedding. And, like, they don't even bother to identify her spy thing, right? Like, if she was English, it'd be MI6. If she was American, it'd be CIA. I don't know what it is in Australia. I'm sure they have something. Director Simon West Writers CC Pleasance and Shayna Steinberg, who write a lot of girl jokes in this. You know, jokes about dresses and shoes and the bachelorette party and all that. Yeah, you can make jokes like that if you don't make the same ones that Bridesmaids already made, like, what, 10, 15 years ago? These all sound like the same jokes to me. Kick it up a notch and give us jokes that are not only funny, but show us some of the characters of the other bridesmaids and the bride. Got none of that here. Not really. Were they high school rivals who then settled and became, settled on their rivalry and then became best friends? Were they, did they grow up together? What's their deal? None of that. Too busy trying to show me how, Rebel Wilson can't hold a prop gun correctly, in my view. There's a trick you can do to indicate a character's ultra competence, let's say, in a spy movie. You have them do something small that, someone could do, but do it in such a cool way that someone notices how, quick they are on the draw. So let's say, I don't know, the bridesmaids are at the bar and someone knocks a drink and she manages to not only catch it, but catch the drink in the glass too and put it back up on the bar. And one of the girls sees her and she's kind of drunk and she says, "Wow, how did you do that?" She's like, "Oh, I just got lucky." It's the old Spider-Man thing, right? Like when Peter Parker does something accidentally good, he just, makes it look like, well, that was just lucky. It's little things like that could indicate her amazing competence. So then later when she does stuff, it works. Kind of. But again, I don't think Rebel Wilson's pulling this off at all. And I'm a little shocked because she does have good energy, but I feel like she's sleepwalking through this movie. And I'm kind of a little pissed for the people who would see this movie. I really am. Because, she's the star of a big movie. This is a big opportunity for her to do something funny. It's not like, she was in this movie where she was a cheerleader and got put into a coma for 20 years and then wakes up and has to go back to high school. I mean, that's a funny premise to me. Even though the movie didn't do well, at least it was funny. This isn't a bad premise. It's just like, I think it's beyond the realm of someone like Rebel Wilson to pull off. But that's just my opinion. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream tonight. I'll see you on Wednesday at the Galloway Public Library in Galloway, New Jersey at 7 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.